Bilal Muhammad versus JDM will not be close. Carlos Prates versus Ian Gary will not be close. Paddy Pimblett versus Michael Chandler.
Shevchenko versus Fury is not going to be close. Valentina Shevchenko is miles ahead of non-Fury, and it's going to show in the fight how much she's dominated non-Fury, and the fact that it's just not will not be close.
How to become this YouTuber? Number one, you must claim that every big fight won't be close. So every big up-and-coming fight that is in the UFC, you must claim that it's not going to be close. And number two, even if it's a close fight, whether it's a close fight on paper, where the outcome's almost guaranteed to be close and there's absolutely no reason why you should think otherwise, you have to title the video, so-and-so versus so-and-so will not be close. That's how you become this YouTuber.
UFC 314. Yeah, we're gonna look for Paddy Pimblett on the house. Yeah, this is gonna be a... It's got that, thing that a lot of cards have, and I'm really looking forward to it, man. Really looking forward to it, man. I just don't really know that, you know, some people, they want to talk about this card if it's bad, or think it's bad. I think some people... Everybody's about Islam Makhachev versus Ilya, but Islam Makhachev just engaged be a big fight. I think could potentially early 2025 if you really look at it from that perspective.
How to become this YouTuber? All you've got to do is record on anything and everything that has the capability to record. So if there is any sort of device that you can record audio from and upload it to YouTube, that's all you need to become this type of YouTuber. And just make sure that the words are audible. But even that's optional. Listen, if people can't even make out a single word that you're saying, as long as it's audio, as long as there's some form of content that you've uploaded to the site of YouTube, you're already, you know, smashing it when it comes to becoming this YouTuber. So record on anything that can be recorded. And if optional, make sure at least some of the words that you say are audible. Bum. He's the worst champion modern is. People forget that.
Yo, he's so
exactly, bro.
Alex Volkanovski.
What about
Clearly
him?
not natty.
What?
Clearly taking freaking PDs.
Not my goal.
And so I would recommend Turk Builder Max.
Yo, Tom Aspinall gotta be ducking Sirigan. This motherfucker been calling John Jones. He got a dick in his mouth the whole fucking time. Ain't even looked at Sirigan's way the whole time. You ducking Sirigan, bro. You scared of the tough test.
Dude, send him to Dagestan for 2-3 years. They're all fucking bums. Yeah, I got beat by Dagestanis. Hamza Chimaev beats all three of them in the same night. They all fucking suck, dude.
How to become this YouTuber? Number one, just attack every single fan-friendly fighter for the fun of it. If there's a fighter with a big fan base that the majority of MMA fans like, just attack them, dislike them, make hate videos on them, and just attack every single fan-friendly fighter because why not? Number two, prove to everybody how different you are. You can't be like every other MMA fan. You've got to have these takes that even you don't really believe, but you've got to put them out there just so you can prove how different you are. You know, you can get the views and you can just dislike on all the fan-friendly fighters for the sake of it. That's how you become this certain YouTuber. We're going to be ranking every single UFC champion by who's the funnest. I'm going to be predicting every UFC champ in 2026. I think Tom Aspinall probably takes I think Jones' fights we must see in 2025. John Jones versus Tom Aspinall is a fight that I would like to see in this year.
5 fights we must see in 2025. Why Volkanovski dominates Lopes. Best striker in every UFC weight class. John Jones is ducking Tom Aspinall.
How to become this YouTuber? Essentially just post the same content as every other smaller channel, ranking whatever in every UFC weight class, strikers this, grappler this, 10 fights we need to see. That's the first thing you need to do to become this YouTuber. The second thing is just find a random word and put MMA in front of it. And thirdly, do not differentiate thumbnails. Use the same white background that every MMA YouTuber seems to use, and just seem to use the exact same thumbnails as every other smaller channel, and you will be a successful cookie cutter content channel. Y'all looking forward to Diego Lopez versus Volkanovski? I'm looking forward to Big Bang 56. Gene Silva's y'all favorite prospect? Y'all ain't heard of Ansar Kamzayev? Gene Silva avoiding eye contact shows signs of fear, weakness, and doubt. This suggests that Gene Silva was down in preparation during February and clearly lacks the confidence going to fight with Bryce Mitchell. He clearly knows that historically Bryce Mitchell talks with fish and prepared multiple, and Gene Silva clearly isn't prepared for this. If he was fully confident, Gene Silva would have stared Bryce Mitchell either directly or through the big screen. As a result, the chances of Gene Silva beating Bryce Mitchell is slim and doesn't align with him becoming a prospect. I don't know about you, but for UFC 315, and I'm also looking forward to the co-main event more than anything, and specifically the outside foot battle. I'm interested to see how much a steel cup's going to affect the arm bars. Foot battle and just the overall leg kick game and the footwork of Valentina Shevchenko going into UFC 3. Yo, who remembers watching UFC one live. But I think Emmett versus Murphy might just be better than UFC 300. If you really look at the meat and potatoes of this card, I have 32 conclusive, undeniable reasons why Israel Adesanya is going to destroy Dricus du Plessis. Reason number one, Adesanya's elite takedown defense and elite wrist control to defend takedowns at approximately... How to become this YouTuber. Number one, you must overcomplicate everything. It's not just a leg kick, you know, it can't just be a simple leg kick that a fighter's throwing. It has to be attacking the leg early on in hopes that the opponent will expect low kicks, going further, and that sets up opportunities to land, blah, blah, blah. Everything in the sequence in MMA has to be overcomplicated. Number two, predict fights with perfect accuracy. Your viewers are going bankrupt otherwise. So you have to do 8-hour long, in-depth breakdowns for every single fight, and just ignore it when you get the prediction completely wrong and absolutely everything you broke down was incorrect. And number three, anybody who disagrees with you is a filthy casual. You're a hardcore fan. Anyone who disagrees, they must not watch the sport, they must be rage baiting, they must be a filthy casual. If you ain't a fighter, you shouldn't get to talk about fighting. Fighters give the best breakdowns. If you don't train MMA, you just can't talk about it.
Sergey Pavlich, Tom Aspinall.
Seeing it. Next up, you have a lightweight matchup with Jalen Turner and Bahamondes.
Justin Gaethje and Fiziev. Rafael.
Morrisman, matchmaker of the year, matchmaking genius, suggests Ilia Topuria versus Gamrot. That must be the most demanded fight in UFC history. Makachev versus Gaethje, yeah, everybody wants that title fight. What a matchmaking masterclass from Kamaru Usman. And if we look at the prediction results for UFC 313, the least correct picks, number one was a fighter, number two was also a fighter, there's another fighter there with Arnold Allen, another one with Usman, there's Michael Bisping, there's Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Fighters consistently getting the worst picks. It's like MMA fighters are stuck between either predicting fights horribly wrong where they butcher the names, they have absolutely no idea what they're talking about, and they end up going 0-5 on predictions, or they just don't predict at all. They stay, they just stay neutral and they just yap about the obvious. He's got great striking over there. Alexander Volkanovski's a great striker. That just seems to be the two choices from MMA fighters. So how do you become this YouTuber? Number one, state the obvious and label it as a breakdown. Volkanovski's a great striker. Post that on YouTube. Call it breakdown of the year. There you go. You're an MMA fighter. You state the obvious, but everyone listens because you fought in your career. And butcher every basic name. Don't be Ilia Topuria. Don't call him Ilia Topuria. That's too long of a name for you. You have to call him Ilia Topuria or some other name, or just butcher every basic name in the UFC on the main card, even the co-main events for some cases. And you're a fighter. No matter what you say, you're right. You've fought in the octagon. You've competed. Anybody who hasn't competed shouldn't be able to have a say about any sort of breakdown. So because you're a fighter, don't let your ego get hurt. No matter what you say, you're correct. Step one, pick any big fight to predict. You've got to predict the fight, how you think it's going to go. And again, kind of going back to the whole expert breakdown thing, you've got to perfectly break it down of who's going to win. Number two, you've got to turn the pick into a bet. So for example, Volkanovski to win a decision is a plus 200. You bet $100, you get $300 back. Three, plug your code, whatever website you're using, plug your code that's going to give somebody 15% off or $50 when they first gamble, whatever it may be. You've got to plug your code if you're a betting YouTuber. And you're just going to repeat that for every single fight and every single card, day in, day out. How to be this YouTuber. Must have in-depth predictions with parlays that must hit. Listen, if you ain't having in-depth predictions to make yourself sound like an expert and you haven't got the parlays that are actually hitting, no one's going to listen to your betting advice, nobody's going to use your codes, and you're not going to be a real good gambling YouTuber anyway. Next way to become this YouTuber is ignore whenever a parlay doesn't hit. You could go 3-10 on an entire card. You could have a horrible day of predicting. Just ignore it. Next week, don't even bring it up. Just start on a new card like usual and hope that nobody brings it up and block every comment that even mentions the fact that your parlay didn't hit. Third reason is convince MMA fans that that they should follow your parlays when MMA is an unpredictable sport and every prediction channel goes up and down. One thing I've noticed in picking fights is that yes, you can have cards that are very easy to predict. There's a lot of favorites on a card and it goes it goes out exactly how you expect it. And then you can have other cards where it completely flips on its head. You can, be confident in like 8 different matchups and only 2 of them can hit. So if you're a parlay YouTuber, if that's what you kind of specialize in, you've got to convince everybody that your parlay is correct better than everybody else's, even though everybody goes in up and downs and MMA is still an extremely unpredictable sport like most sports are. Bryce Mitchell versus Gene Silva. You can see that they're both, Bryce Mitchell's 5'10", Gene Silver's 5'7". Bryce Mitchell has the reach advantage in this fight.
I think John Jones versus Alexander Perrier is the fight that the UFC need to make next. Obviously, John Jones is the greatest of all time. Alexander Perrier, Piera is, one of the best fighters in the UFC. Right now, we need this fight.
We got Nikita Krylov versus Dominican Reyes. Ukraine versus United States, 6'3" versus 6'4". I'm going to go with Dominican Reyes with this one because he obviously weighs an extra pound over Nikita Krylov. And from what I'm reading, from what I recall, he defeated John Jones. And that obviously means Dominican Reyes is the greatest of all time. So I'm picking the greatest of all time, Dominican Reyes. We then have Yang Xiaonan versus Verney Jandiroba. I'm going to go with
Israel Adesanya should be fighting for the belt next. He's the greatest welterweight of all time. You guys have forgotten about Adesanya. He used to have the coolest walkouts in the world. I remember watching TikTok and seeing all those clips of Izzy Adesanya, so he needs to get